It's Vandy, so back at again with another deck profile of Vanguard. This time it's my Gear Chronicle Time Leap one, my favorite and my best Cardfight Vanguard deck ever, but it's not my favorite because Ezel was my favorite, but it's not complete. So let's get started. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. I hope you guys enjoy. So starting off with their starting Vanguard, it's Chronojet, the original one. 10k, 10k shield, but no one's gonna use that, and 5k power. GB, it has Forerunner and then GB1 shove into your soul. When this unit is placed from your bind zone, when it's placed into your bind zone from your rear guard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one grade 3 or greater Chronojet card with Chronojet in its card name, call it to rear guard, shuffle your deck, and at the end of that turn, return the called unit to your hand. Basically, it refills your soul, and you basically, by time leaping, you kind of get like cues up. There's like a fun little play that if I have time at the end, if I remember to, I will show you guys later. Where my first turn stride, if I have a certain, if I have my very Pacific main grade 3 out, it's really, I think, funny for a combo. 2 copies of Steam Maiden Sadem, just, I don't run stands because your cards are going to disappear due to time leap by the end of the battle phase, I mean by the end of their battle, so really that doesn't, so really stands don't matter. 2 copies of Steam Night Sushin, 4 copies of Lucky Pot Drago Kit. It's just moving the soul, give a unit plus 3k. And then 4 copies of Steam Battler Dishing. So I basically run 6 crits, 6 draws, and then my 4 heals are 4 copies of Time Matching Maiden Uluru, who is when it's discarded for the cost of Time Maiden of Eternity Uluru, a G Guardian. Choose a normal unit from your drop, send it to the bottom of your deck. This deck has so much recycle fodder. One game, I've had like two to 3 games where I've won without having any cards in my drop zone because of how much recycling goes on in this deck. Any cards, nothing in my drop, which is really funny to me. Now onto our grade 1s. 2 copies of Steam Maiden Mesh Kia, 5k shield, 7k power. GB1 rest it when it's placed on rearguard from your deck due to time leap. Pay the cost if you do. Draw 1, choose one of your units, and choose one of your other units to give plus 4k. So, yeah, basically you get to draw 1 and then give something plus 4k. This is part of the Chronojet thing that I was talking about. It's where you use the stride skill of Chronojet Dragon G, time leap Chronojet into Mesh Kia, use Chronojet Dragon G's effect first. Chronojet's effect first. Send it to the soul. Get out Chronojet, either the original Chronojet or Chronojet Dragon G. Skill of Mesh Kia. Give that monster that you give the card that you just called plus 4k and then draw 1, which is really nice. And then the skill of the first stride. 3 copies of Steam Sniper Lishima. 5k shield, 7k power. Soul Blast 1, and choose a card from your hand to discard it. When it's after the battle that it boosts to Vanguard, you may pay the cost if you do Time Leap it. The attack doesn't have to hit, which I love about it. Then it's Counterblast 1 at GB1 when it's placed on rearguard from your bind zone, draw 1. So, nice if it is the Time Leap B, or if it's just Time Leaping itself and doing fun plays. 4 copies of Causality Dragon, GB1 when it's placed on rearguard circle. If you have a Vanguard Chronojet card name, choose one of your other units. It gets plus 2k, and then it gets, when this unit attack hits the Vanguard, choose one of your other rearguards, and you may time leap it. It's a Vanguard rearguard skill. What sucks that the attack has to hit. If they're at 5 damage, they're not obviously going to let that hit unless they're confident that the top card of their deck is a heal, and even then they probably take something else as a hit instead of whatever that is. But still, Causality. I run it just in case, because you want a time leap. Because you want a time leap for the unit I'm about to show you, the MVP Grade 1. And the reason why most of the games I've had 0 drop zone cards. Tickaway Dragon, 5k shield, 7k power, GB1 on rearguard circle. When your other unit is placed on rearguard due to the effect of your time leap, choose up to 1 card from your drop zone and send it to the bottom of your deck. It can come from bind zone, it can come from rear guard, doesn't matter as long as Tickaway was on the field first, you get to send something from your drop back to the bottom of the deck. Once again, as part of the Chronojet play where you have Tickaway out, then you time leap Chronojet into Mesh Kia, and essentially after a really nice Soul Blast move, you get to bring Chronojet to the bottom of your deck. 2 copies of Iron Fist Sanction Colossus. It's just 5k power, 8k AK, 8k power, 5k defense, when 5k shield, and when it intercepts it gets plus 10k shield. So it basically becomes a 15k interceptor. That's really the only reason why I run it. 3 copies of Steam Knight Mudar, 5k shield, 9k power. If it's in the bind zone, Soul Blast 1, call it to rear guard, and it gets plus 2k, but it's an axe skill, so you can't use it to multi-attack. And it's Time Leap GB1 on rear guard circle, bind it face up, and when this unit's attack hits the Vanguard, Soul Charge 1, and then choose one of your other rear guards and Time Leap it. Basically, it's combo, I guess, for a Chronojet, for a takeaway play. 4 copies of Clock Fencer Dragon. 5k shield, 9,000 power. When it's placed on rear guard from your hand, time loop something. GB1 skill. If it wasn't from hand, I would actually see this more of a helpful, because then it would be part of the Chronojet Meshkia takeaway play with the first stride because of a certain ability. If it wasn't from hand. Twin Mazer Dragon, 5k shield, 9k power. When it attacks the Vanguard, it gets plus 3k until the end of the battle. Basically a 10k attack. Combine like any size, combine like a rested grade 1 in the front row with Mudar's effective Mudar hits. You basically get out that so you can maximize your attacks. Now into our grade 3s, 4 copies of the, okay, both of them are Chronojets. This is the non-main one, but I run it because it has a stride skill and because I need Chronojets. 4 copies of Chronojet Dragon, the original one. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, GB2, if it's on the Vanguard circle, for this battle, it gets plus 5k, and your opponent can't call grade 1 or greater cards from their hand, so they can't PG it. And Counterblast 1, when you stride on top of it, if it's on the Vanguard circle, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, send to the bottom of their deck. I guess send this stuff to bottom. I mean, I really just run it because of one of my G guards, and that's pretty much it. Now 4 copies of Chronojet Dragon G, my main grade 3. Continuous ability, Vanguard Circle. During your turn, for every 2 face-up cards in your G-Zone, it gets plus 5k till it gets plus 5k, and all your Zodiac Time Beast rear guards get plus 1k. Every card in this deck is not a Zodiac Time Beast except for Chronojet and this thing, so only Chronojet and this thing will get that boost. And Chronojet is probably going to be in the deck somewhere, if not in your hand, so you're never really going to use that to help to help Chronojet. And then it has a stride skill where free during your turn when your Gear Dragon or Zodiac Time Beast unit strides, so it has to be one of those 2. Unit strides. Choose up to 1, if it's on the Vanguard circle, choose up to 1 card from your hand, call it, then choose up to 1 of your rear guards and time leap it. You don't have to time leap, you don't have to call, so you can call something but not time leap, or you can time leap but not call. It doesn't matter. Most of the time I like to have Tickway on my field to do that. And then, starting with our grade 4s, 1 copy of Interdimensional Dragon Crossover Dragon. GB3, Counterblast 2. If you have a hard card with Chronojet's card name, search your deck for up to 2 cards with Chronojet with different card names. That's why I run it. And then call them to separate rear guard circles. Shuffle your deck until the end of the turn. They get rear guard circle. When choose another Chronojet rear guard, put this unit and that unit to the soul. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand your Vanguard. Basically making a 6 hextuple drive. No, I'm sorry, 6 sextuple drive check, which is 6 drive checks. Really nice. 1 copy of Chrono Dragon Gear Groovy. I only run 1 because I only own 1. If I had 1 more, this would be better. Once per turn, GB2, choose a face down Gear Groovy from your G zone, turn it face up. If you have a hard card with Chronojet, for this turn, this card gets the auto abilities of 2 face up Gear Dragons in your G zone that you get to pick. And it gets all the chosen abilities of them. So if they have like 2 auto abilities, you can pick 1 from each. And then once per turn, GB3, Soul Blast 1, G flip any card, and this thing gets 5k. So like if you were at GB3 when you used this thing, you could flip out over a Gear Dragon before you use Gear Groovy's first go. 1 copy of the MVP, my GB8. Interdimensional Dragon, Beyond Order Dragon. Once per turn, GB8 effect, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Bind 8 cards on the top of your deck face up. After the original battle phase of this turn, you get an additional main phase, an additional battle phase, and this card restands at the beginning of that main phase. But it has a drive -1. So it's a iffy type of deal, but well, I mean, it gets a drive -1 during the during the second main phase, but basically you get to attack with everything, call stuff from your hand. Every G unit that's a stride in this deck, except for this one, is a Gear Dragon. Interdimensional Beast, Metallica Phoenix. Choose a face-down card from your G-Zone, turn it face up, any face-down card, really. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a hard card Chronojet and its card name, pay the cost if you do. Chime Leap, one of your rear guards, activates when he attacks, so kind of like going to Moodar or Twin Maze or something like that, stack power. And then the Stride on the first turn. Interdimensional Dragon, Warp Drive. I only own 2 because I run 2 because I only own 2 and I wish I had 4. Once per turn effect, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose a face-down card from your G-Zone, turn it face up, any unit. Choose up to the same number of rear guards as you have as warp drives in your G-Zone, time leap them, choose one of your opponent's rear guards that has grade less than or equal to the number of cards called with the time leap effect, and your opponent puts them at the bottom of your deck. So basically, if you time leap 3 units, your opponent has to put a grade 3 or less card from their field to the bottom of their deck. My first turn stride is Chronojet G on the Vanguard circle. Stride into this. Stride skill, time leap Chronojet after calling Tick away into only God knows what. Send my stride follower back to the bottom of the deck. Skill of Chronojet, time leap Chronojet into Meshkia. Skill of Chronojet, call Chronojet Dragon or Chronojet Dragon G. Meshkia skill, give 4k to that unit, draw 1. Skill of Warp Drive, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Time leap Meshkia into, so Soul Blast Drain, Counterblast 1. And flip over Warp Drive, Time Leap into Twin Mazer, skill of Tick away, send Meshkia to the, send Chronojet to the bottom of the deck. Basically, I have no drop zone cards, and I just recycled everything. Now to my G-Guards. One copy of Highbrow Steam Arlim, that's the other card that focuses on the 2 Chronojets. Really crossovers there as flip fodder for Gear Groovy. Here's what Arlim does. Choose 2 cards in total from your hand and drop zone with Chronojet and their card names, reveal them, and put them at the bottom of your deck in any order. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, it gets plus 15k shield. Problem with this is they have to be, they can be from anywhere from your drop zone or hand. Like, you can have 2 from hand, or 2 from drop, or just, like, mix them. But basically, yeah, it just gets plus 15k shield. It's like a 30k wall, which is really nice. Problem is you have to have exactly 2, and they both have to have different card names. And then our MVP G-Guard, which helps us, like, keep track of our count to GBA and gets more greater the more G units we have. GB1, Counterblast 1, choose a face-down card G Guardian from your G-Zone and turn it face up, any G Guardian. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle and pay the cost, ABD gets plus 5k for each face-up card in your G-Zone to the end of the battle, and it's called Time Maiden of Eternity Alluru, the thing for that heal. G-Guards can only be used if you have 4 or less, if you have 3 or less face up. So it kind of does go that, but what I do is I guard with G-Guard twice, and then I will try to G-Guard a 3rd time and then go into that thing, so I use all 5 of my G-Guards, which is really nice. And then 3 copies of Retroactive Time Maiden Uluru. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, choose up to 1 normal unit, 1 trigger unit from your drop, send them to the bottom of your deck in any order, and then if 2 cards are put, it gets plus 5k shield. That's what I use to, like, recycle my heals when it's not on the regular Uluru, on the evolved Uluru, because basically that means I can send the heal trigger I just used, send it to the bottom of my deck, and then send a normal unit that I have in my drop to the bottom of my deck. That was the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. And see you all, and stand up your Vanguard.